Imagine being on top of the world, celebrated as the best soccer player, only to find yourself locked up in a Paraguayan prison with just $6 in your bank account. Sounds unbelievable, right? This is the real-life roller coaster of Ronaldinho, the Brazilian football legend whose life journey is as crazy as his skills on the field. Ronaldinho's story begins in the rough streets of Porto Alegre, one of Brazil's most dangerous cities. Born into poverty, he and his family lived in a small wooden shack, barely scraping by. But there was one thing that united them: soccer. Despite their struggles, Ronaldinho's father found a creative way to inspire him. He told young Ronaldinho that playing without shoes would improve his ball control, a white lie that fueled his passion for the sport. Ronaldinho's older brother, Roberto, was a rising soccer star in the favela, and Ronaldinho looked up to him. The two brothers practiced relentlessly on the streets, driven by their dream to lift their family out of poverty. Their father, their biggest supporter, would spend his spare time training them, believing in their potential. And then, Roberto got his big break. He was signed by Grêmio, the city's professional team. The deal was life-changing, providing the family with a house in a safe neighborhood. But just as they started to taste the better life, tragedy struck. On Roberto's 18th birthday, their father had a fatal heart attack and he drowned in their new pool. The man who had inspired and supported them was gone, and 8-year-old Ronaldinho vowed to fulfill his father's dream. The pressure on Roberto was immense. He had to support the family and live up to his promise. He thrived initially, helping Grêmio win titles and earning a spot on the national team. But a severe knee injury sidelined him for 8 months, shifting the focus to Ronaldinho. The young prodigy was ready. He trained tirelessly and gained attention when his team won 23-0, with Ronaldinho scoring all 23 goals. In 1998, Ronaldinho signed with Grêmio, marking the beginning of his professional career. With Roberto as his manager, he felt the bittersweet success of achieving their dream, but without their father. Ronaldinho's talent was undeniable, and in 2001 he moved to PSG for $5 million. Initially starting from the bench, he soon dazzled everyone with his skills, securing a spot in the starting lineup. However, his lifestyle started to change. Ronaldinho became a party animal, often showing up late to training. Despite this, his on-field performance remained stellar. In 2003, Ronaldinho moved to Barcelona, a club struggling to compete with Real Madrid. His impact was immediate and profound. With his extraordinary skills and infectious smile, he led Barcelona to new heights, winning the FIFA Player of the Year award twice, the Ballon d'Ors and the Champions League. He even starred in a Nike commercial, the first YouTube video to hit 1 million views. But despite the success, Ronaldinho was haunted by his father's absence. After 3 triumphant years, Ronaldinho's partying habits began to cause concerns at Barcelona. He showed up drunk to training, just as a young Leo Messi was emerging as a new star. Ronaldinho mentored Messi, guiding him through the pressures of professional soccer. But the club worried about Ronaldinho's influence on the young talent and decided it was time for a change. In 2008, Ronaldinho moved to Milan, seeking redemption. He started strong, but soon fell back into his old ways, becoming a fixture in the Italian nightlife. Milan eventually sold him, and Ronaldinho drifted from club to club. By 2015, Ronaldinho retired from professional soccer. Despite no longer earning massive paychecks, his love for partying and drinking didn't wane. He made questionable financial decisions, got involved in shady cryptocurrency deals, and clashed with Brazilian authorities. He even built an illegal bridge on his property, leading to legal troubles and a court ruling that revealed he had over $1 million in debt and and just $6 in his bank account. His passport was confiscated, and it seemed like Ronaldinho had hit rock bottom. But the worst was yet to come. In a bizarre twist, Ronaldinho and Roberto were arrested in Paraguay for attempting to enter the country with fake passports. It's almost comical. Ronaldinho, a world-famous figure, trying to pass off a Paraguayan passport. They faced a potential 5-year sentence. Ronaldinho claimed ignorance, insisting he didn't know the passports were fake and blaming the people who invited him to Paraguay. Nonetheless, he found himself in a Paraguayan prison, playing soccer with fellow inmates and celebrating his 40th birthday behind bars. After 32 days in prison and a hefty bail of $1.6 million, Ronaldinho was released to house arrest. 5 months later, he and Roberto were allowed to return to Brazil. This ordeal seemed to be a wake-up call. Ronaldinho began to rebuild his life. He became an ambassador for a soccer stadium, started a music studio, launched his gin brand, and secured endorsement deals. By March 2022, he was posting pictures with a Rolls-Royce on his Instagram, hinting at a financial recovery. He also started producing a film about his life, with the trailer reading, "A difficult period of my life is about to end. Fortunately, I can never thank those who supported me." Ronaldinho's journey from the slums of Porto Alegre to the heights of global soccer stardom, and his subsequent fall from grace, is a tale of tragedy, talent, and redemption. He remains one of the most beloved figures in soccer, not just for his extraordinary skills, but for his infectious joy and resilience. His movie, Ronaldinho, the happiest man in the world, promises to share the highs and lows of his remarkable life. As we watch, we can't help but hope that Ronaldinho has truly found his way back to happiness and stability. But let's rewind a bit and dig deeper into the man who became synonymous with football magic. Ronaldinho was not just any soccer player. He was a magician with the ball. His dribbles, no-look passes, and audacious tricks turned every match into a spectacle. Fans around the world would tune in just to watch him play, knowing that something extraordinary could happen at any moment. His style was a breath of fresh air in an era dominated by tactical discipline. Ronaldinho played with joy and freedom that reminded everyone why they fell in love with the game in the first place. At Barcelona, he formed a formidable partnership with players like Deco, Xavi, and a young Messi. Together, they transformed the club's fortunes, ending Real Madrid's dominance in Spanish football. Ronaldinho's influence extended beyond the pitch. He was a global icon, adored by fans and respected by his peers. His humility and warmth made him approachable, and he always had a smile upon his face, whether he was lifting a trophy or meeting his fans. However, fame and fortune brought their challenges. Ronaldinho's love for partying was well known, and while it didn't initially affect his performance, it gradually took its toll. The late-night escapades began to catch up with him, and his once boundless energy seemed to wane. Training sessions were missed, and his dedication was questioned. Yet, his natural talent often masked these issues, and he continued to deliver magical moments on the field. Barcelona, though, couldn't ignore the signs. The arrival of Pep Guardiola as coach marked a turning point. Guardiola wanted a disciplined team, and Ronaldinho's lifestyle didn't fit into his plan. The club decided to part ways with their star player, and Ronaldinho moved to AC Milan. The transfer was seen as an opportunity for him to revive his career, but the old habits resurfaced. In Milan, Ronaldinho showed glimpses of his genius, but struggled to maintain consistency. His nights out in the city's vibrant nightlife scene were frequent, and his form dipped. Milan, a club with a rich history and high expectations grew frustrated. Eventually, they decided to let him go, and Ronaldinho found himself back in Brazil, playing for Flamengo and later for Atletico Mineiro. Despite the ups and downs, Ronaldinho never lost his love for the game. He brought joy to every club he played for, even if his stint was short-lived. At Atletico, he experienced a resurgence, leading the club to its first Copa Libertadores title. His performances were a reminder of his incredible talents, and he received a hero's welcome wherever he went. Yet, off the field, problems continued to mount. Ronaldinho's financial troubles became public, and his lavish lifestyle caught up with him. He faced legal issues and struggled to maintain his wealth. The fake passport incident in Paraguay was a low point, exposing the extent of his troubles. The world watches in disbelief as the once great soccer star navigated a prison sentence. Ronaldinho's story is a powerful reminder of the highs and lows that can accompany fame. His rise from poverty to global stardom is inspiring, but his fall from grace is a cautionary tale. The pressures of maintaining a public image, coupled with personal demons, can be overwhelming. Yet, Ronaldinho's resilience shines through. He has shown a determination to rebuild his life and continue sharing his passion for soccer. As he steps into new ventures, from music to entrepreneurship, Ronaldinho remains a beloved figure in the sporting world. His infectious joy and charisma continue to win hearts. The upcoming film about his life is eagerly anticipated, promising to capture the essence of a man who lived his life with a rare blend of passion and flair. Ronaldinho's journey is far from over, and fans around the world will be watching, hoping that their hero has finally found peace and happiness.